Hello, it's Michael from bettermixing.com, and today I'm going to show you the new reverb plugin from Acon Digital, Verberate. I have to admit that you have to show some balls releasing a new algorithmic reverb plugin these days, since the market has a lot of different choices available for artificial reverbs. But this reverb is, according to the website of the manufacturer, different. They state that several conventional building blocks in traditional reverb design have been replaced by novel methods that allow Verberate to produce convincing early reflections and the dense reverberation tail that characterize impulse response measurements of real acoustical spaces. This way you should be able to get a clean, unobtrusive sonic quality and a reverb that blends seamlessly into a mix. You also get much more flexibility and tweaking possibilities without sacrificing realism. They also claim to have less CPU usage on this plugin than convolution reverbs. Okay, so that's the promise the manufacturer gives on his website. Now, let's see how the plugin really does its job. The installation is quick and painless, and it's just a little bit over 5 MB. All DAWs in our testing environment found it and registered it immediately. The plugin loads fine on Cubase 7, Sequoia 12, Presonus Studio 1, and Sonar X3. It's only available as a VST or audio unit, so we couldn't try it in Pro Tools. The plugin is available native in 32-bit or 64-bit versions and supports sampling rates up to 96 kHz. Let's take a quick look at the controls of this plugin. I'm not going into details with that one. If you're interested in how the control works in detail, just check out the manual at the website of Acon Digital. The dry level control controls the amount of the dry signal that is being sent to the output. The reverb level controls the amount of the reverberation signal. The ER level controls the amount of early reflections sent to the output. With the early reflections mode, you can choose different early reflection programs from a set of predefined programs. Reverb time controls the duration of the reverb. Room size determines the size of the simulated acoustical environment. Pre-delay allows you to adjust the pre-delay in milliseconds. The modulation rate. This control applies modulation to the late reverberation. For more information, check out the menu. Modulation depth is pretty self-explanatory. Stereo spread controls the stereo width of the reverb. The decay editor allows you to set up reverberation times that are dependent on the frequency. That's a little bit complex, so check out the manual for that as well. The output equalizer lets you apply filtering to the reverberation signal. If you want further information about that, just take a look at the manual. There you can find a very good explanation of all the controls. So now let's take a listen on how it sounds in the production. First, I tried it on a snare drum. I normally would use the plugin on an aux return, but for simplicity of this review, I used it as an insert this time. I used the drum ambience preset and tweaked the reverb level a little bit. Let's listen to the snare without the reverb. Okay, now let's put Verberate on and listen to it again. So it's a nice enhancement of the snare and it fits pretty good. The snare is a little bit too ringy to hear a huge difference, but I think it enhances the sound of the snare very well. The next instrument I tried the plugin on is an acoustic guitar. Let's listen to the dry recording first. Now let's put on the reverb. I used the plate ambience program, and again I tweaked the reverb level to fit it to the guitar. So let's give a listen to it with the Verberate plugin on. The acoustic guitar gets a little more space and life with the reverb activated, so again, a very nice job. Personally, for me, the preset sounds a little bit metallic, but it's not that bad. Maybe another preset would have worked better for that one, or you can always tweak the output with the output equalizer if some frequencies just poke out too much. Now let's move on to electric guitars. Normally I don't use reverb on electric guitars. I rather prefer a delay or maybe a little bit of spring reverb, but I wanted to see if the plugin would work as a reverb for electric guitars as well. I used a combination of the medium hall and a chess club preset and put it over 3 electric guitars. Now let's take a listen to the dry guitar recordings. Now let's put the reverb on and let's listen again. I think it sounds pretty good. Of course, the reverb level is way too high, but I wanted to make it obvious what the reverb is doing to these guitars. I'm pretty sure that the medium hall preset works really good on lap steel guitars. I'm going to try that in the near future. The next instrument that I tried the plugin on is a piano. Let's listen to the dry recording first and then we'll switch on the reverb. Okay, so now let's put on the Verberate plugin. I used the piano hall preset and tweaked the reverb level to fit it. I think it enhances the piano quite nice and it gives a little more space and room to the recording. Now comes my favorite in this production. I used the medium chamber preset on a blues harp and it really showed me what this plugin is capable of. Let's take a listen to the dry recording first. Now let's put the Verberate plugin on and listen again. See, the blues harp immediately sounds bigger because of the space that surrounds the harmonica from the plugin. I can imagine using that for such applications in the future regularly since I produce a lot of country music. Now let's take a look at how the plugin works on vocals. Let's give it a listen to the dry vocal first and then we'll try 2 different presets on the vocal.
Baby, you are my one and only. You are my one and only for the rest of my life. Baby, you are so fine. Thinking about you, so beautiful.
First, I want to show you how the vocal plate preset sounds. Tweak the reverb level a little bit and the output equalizer because it was a little bit too present in the high frequencies for my taste. Now, let's give a listen.
Baby, you are my one and only. You are my one and only for the rest of my life. Baby, you are so fine. Thinking about you, so beautiful.
Sounds pretty nice as well. I mean, for vocal, honestly, I would prefer the Lexicon 224 from Universal Audio or the LX480 from Relab because They just sound much warmer in my opinion, but again, they come with a completely different price tag. The second preset I tried is the German cathedral setting. Let's give a listen to that.
Baby, you are my one and only. You are my one and only for the rest of my life. Baby, you are so fine. Thinking about you, so beautiful.
Oh, that sounds way better down the vocal plate for me. If you need a reverb that really jumps into your face, this setting will work pretty good. I can also imagine using it on woodwinds or maybe some harp recordings. Now let's come to a part I really was curious about. I do a lot of producing for movies and TV shows, so epic orchestral sounds are part of my day-to-day business. Usually I rely on Reverb or the Waves IRL for that applications. But since the plugin comes with a good amount of different halls, I wanted to try it on a movie-like orchestral setting. I used the Chicago Hall preset and tweaked the reverb level until I thought it fits. Let's take a listen first to the dry recording. Now let's put the reverb on and listen to it again. Now that really surprised me. This plugin sounds extremely good on orchestral material. It makes the recording sound larger and more powerful, and it gives a nice space to the instruments. I can see myself using it for such productions in the future again. My conclusion: for a price of $100, you get a very good plugin. It has an easy on the eyes interface, the knobs and controls are reacting nicely when touched with the cursor, and you can tweak it much more than regular convolution reverbs. It sounds very good, and it has a very low CPU load, so you can easily use multiple instances in a project. If you're still in search for a good reverb plugin that fits into a lower budget, I would give this one a try. You can download the demo for Windows and Mac at the website of the manufacturer. There you can also find additional audio demos for different applications, so head over and check it out. As always, with the reviews from bettermixing.com, you can download high-resolution WAV files from our SoundCloud account. Just head over to soundcloud.com/bettermixing, and there you get all the audio files we used in this review. Till next time, bye!